with George Francis from FightersRep. George, thank you for joining me today, my friend. I'm very grateful you came on.
An absolute pleasure, Bobby. How are you, brother?
It's good to see you, George. For people that don't know out there, this guy has been my biggest supporter since day one. Before the shutdown, he used to say, Bobby, you should be a friggin' motivational clips, do something motivational. And I became really inspired by podcasting and everything. And George is one of the biggest reasons. George, I appreciate you coming on, my friend. It's good to see you. You look really good. You look really fresh and ready to go. I know you've been, what do you have about, how many promotions have you had since, you were able to do your promotion again, your kickboxing promotion? Fighters
Oh
Rep in
man,
California.
they only opened up California in July, OG, and man, that's what for everybody that doesn't know, that's what I call Bobby. I like to call him OG.
Yeah,
Uh,
George.
you know, they opened it up in July, so I was able to squeeze two in before the end of the year, and now I got another one coming up next month, man. So we're busy. I mean, it's like every other month.
I'm really happy for you, George, man. So
Thank you, man.
I know
Thank
it's really tight there, but to show that you could get these things, and show people good fights because they are great fights. I got to give you a lot of credit because you're a go getter, George. You're from Miami and then L.A. and you got that mindset of never quitting and always working hard, and that's my mindset. I think that's why me and you hit it off. Real recognize real, but me and you hit it off two plus years ago. Like I'm just really happy to see you doing good, and I'm happy to see you
Appreciate it, man.
working because you were going crazy about work. I remember we were talking about it all. Almost every couple days you were on live, and I'd join you, on your promotion. And Fighters Rep is great. Me and my friends talk at Rush Hour MMA. Rush Hour MMA, give a shout out to them. That's my friends out of DC, New York, and New Jersey. And those guys over there love kickboxing. I know they're going to be watching too. So I know they will watch, So I just wanted Fighters
Hopefully,
Rep.
man.
I wanted Fighters Rep to get a big shout out from the Northeast Coast here because it's going to be a big year, and I wanted you to be in the beginning of it. So I'm really happy you joined me, George. How's everything going? Other than that, what do you got? What's your next card? Do you have a lot of like a mix of all fighters like you usually do, or any
Yeah,
belts?
yeah. So on the next one, I'm aiming for February 18th. That's Fighters Rep 12. Of course, you can get your tickets at FightersRep.com, or you could join the YouTube channel to watch. It's just $9.99 a month. Anything people spend, obviously gets reimbursed or reinvested back into the promotion to help me continue to build. As I told you, Bobby, in the past, we're the only pro kickboxing promotion in California, one of the few in the country. It's really sad
It is.
considering how exciting this sport is and how amazing our sport is, but we're going to change that. We're going to keep expanding this thing. We're looking at other states. So, we're going to do what we got to do. And so February 18th, I got an amazing card, Bobby, the most stacked card I've ever had, bro. I've got, 6 pro fights on the main card. I've got 10 AMI fights, highest quality AMIs on the undercard, and I do that because, obviously we want to give people their money's worth. So 16 fights, but also, you've got to build those AMIs up. We got to build the sport up
That's
so
the
we could,
future.
so we could turn them pro in the future. So,
You got the right idea.
yeah, man. So I've actually got like 2 guys that are debuting that fought for me as amateurs on this card.
Awesome.
And then I've got it. Yeah, man. It's like, it's like homegrown.
The amateurs are tougher than the pros, I think. Just for them to make it there, because I know how hard it was, as an amateur boxer. I know, and I seen what my friends went through to win the Golden Gloves and stuff. It's not easy. 7 fights in a week, sometimes 2-3 fights in a day.
Right. No, and the pool is deep. The pool is deep out here, especially in Southern California. The pool is deep.
You got elite fighters out there.
Yeah,
elite
the pool is deep out here. For sure. The pool is deep out here, Bobby. We got a lot of Muay Thai and MMA and everything else. A lot of different striking cultures out here. And the gyms, I got on this next card, Bobby, I got guys from Classic Fight Team, right? That's where TJ Dillashaw goes and trains. You got, the Paez brothers. some animals out there. It's owned by Tyler Wombles. Even in the co-main event, it's going to be Eric Hyman out there from Classic, or rather Ed Hyman from Classic Fight Team. He's fought in Glory. I mean, he's
I
an
know that
absolute
name.
beast.
Yeah,
And
I know that
yeah,
name.
and he's going to be on this next card. He's
Wow.
actually taking on Connor Bracken, a guy who I like to think we've had a good hand in growing as well. He had one pro fight before us. He's had a couple with us since. Absolutely amazing fighter out of Jongsanan, the Wooden Man Muay Thai's gym up in San Francisco. If you don't know, Jongsanan is one of the best Muay Thai fighters to ever do it. And so
I
he's,
was just gonna say,
he's
yeah. I was just
so,
that's
yeah, so he's
elite legend.
yes, yeah, and he's out of that camp. You know what I mean? And just everyone, just pretty much everyone. I mean, all the camps we deal with, we got Spider Muay Thai represented. You know, we got. I mean, David Pacheco's coming back. So just with Jason Caldwell's gym, Blackbeard Kickboxing. So we always have like the elite of the elite. I like to think, a lot of the guys that fight for us, they have teammates in the UFC, they have teammates at Bellator, they're fighting in the best shows in the world. So I always tell people, hey, we're one of the few kickboxing promotions in the United States. So
Very
when you're
few.
talking about so when you're talking about us, especially in the region we're at, you're talking about the best strikers. I mean, these are the best guys that stand up and bang, and that's what
They
people
definitely
like to
do.
see.
They definitely do. That's I admit that too. There, I mean, you put on some elite shows, and I'm really proud of you. Like I'm such a passion. I know you're a passionate person about fighting, and
Oh yeah,
I
oh
know you
yeah.
treat your fighters fair. I know you go the extra mile to make it a really good experience for the fans. Like George, when you say that, you really mean it. When you there's
I
no
mean it.
there's no
I
lying
mean
in
it,
you, and
Bobby.
that's why I love you. Because I'm a brutally honest. I can't lie, so I cannot lie to people, and you're so honest. Oh, that's why
I mean,
that's why I care about you so much, brother. Like,
I appreciate it. This is the poster for the event, Bobby, just so the viewers and everyone else can see it.
oh, that's
These are the
insane. I like
guys.
it. Keep
These
it
are the
up.
guys on the main card, and I talked about Ed Hyman, Connor Bracken. They're fighting at 185 pounds. These are two big killers. These two are heavyweights. Maykel Clark, he's fighting against Joe Two Guns Hernandez. We got Wilson Havers, Evan Bolton, Matt Erdums versus Julio Rios, and Vince Famolari versus Robert Ortiz. And Vince Famolari, he just went viral at our last show, OG,
I was going
because
to ask about him.
he knocked out Anderson Silva's son, Gabe Silva, who's a hell of a
That's right.
fighter. He was able
You
to
had
score the
Anderson
knockout.
Silva's son fight on your promotion, right?
Both of them,
Both of them,
yeah,
right?
both of them fight for us, and both of them are excellent fighters. Gabe did, Famolari was able to get the knockout over him at the last event, Bobby. But let me tell you,
Yeah,
that
but that
kid's
kid's
gonna come
young.
back.
That kid's young.
Yeah, he's a
He's
baby
Anderson
still.
Silva's son. He's a savage. He's got it in him. He just,
Yeah, yeah.
hey, that's. I was saying that amateur. Then when you make it pro, it's not easy till you start making it easy. Technically
Yeah,
easy.
yeah.
It comes. It comes. The more experience I've noticed with amateur boxers when they go pro, that loss will inspire you to win the next 20 or 30 with legendary and legacy fighters. And with his father's name, I'm sure he's thinking that.
Oh,
I'm sure,
100%.
you know what I mean?
100%.
And I'm
And
sure
he's
his father
super
told him that,
talented. Yeah, Bobby, and he's super talented, man. He was undefeated up until that fight, and it was against Vince Famolari, who, as you can see, he's a pro now, so he had more experience.
Yeah, he's a
And
veteran.
yeah,
Compared.
so
Compared.
it was. I think it was a learning experience for him. I think he'll be back, and his brother Khalil, who's got a little bit less experience, Khalil Silva, is
Oh, I
also
didn't,
very good. He's 2-0 with us now, so he's very
I
good
didn't
too.
know that. See, I didn't know there was another brother. I mean, another son. I mean, and he had a brother. I didn't know, and he was fighting too. I had no idea.
Yep.
Learn
Yep.
something new every day. Callie, everybody good? You good? As long as you and your family and everybody in the fight is, and everyone's training hard and everything's the business as usual for the most part. I know you have problems, but at least you're making it happen, George. Most people can't say that. You know what I mean? They make excuses. Excuses like
Yeah.
assholes. You don't make excuses, George. And I really believe. I believe. I've seen fights. I've watched a lot of your fights, and to be honest with you, during this past month when there hasn't been fights, I've actually went on there and watched them on Instagram, and I think your fights are on YouTube too. From what I forget where I watch them,
Oh
but I
yeah,
do
they're all
watch
on
them.
YouTube. Yeah, we put them
Okay,
all
because I
on
do
YouTube.
watch them, and I think I did see that fight actually. To be honest with you, Anderson Silva's son with that other kid. That other kid is tough. I did see that
Yeah,
fight actually.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so, George,
The
those
rule
heavy.
set the rule says right up your alley, Bobby. I mean, it's
Yeah,
guys
there's
standing
you tell them
standing
the
in
rules,
front of
coach.
each other. It's guys standing in front of each other. There's no clinch like in boxing. You just got to stand in front of each other and
Yeah,
fight
they
it
bite
out.
down on
You
the
know what I mean?
mouthpiece and in the phone booth and kicking and punching. And just, I noticed that too. Even the refs say, let's go, let's go. They break it up right away and they
Yeah,
laugh right
yeah,
towards
yeah.
each other. Hey, you know what? That's the only way to fight, like in my opinion. In my opinion, you know what I mean? But I would like to be when I was on my, thinking about going pro boxing. The only thing I had on my mind was the heavyweight title with my second trainer that was a really good trainer. He got the best out of me, and I was thinking about, and then he died, and that it kind of didn't kill my dreams of doing it, but I just got off. I couldn't make money in boxing. I had a daughter. I had to go work as a sandhog
Yeah,
and
yeah.
as a boss. I got offered a really good job, 80 to 120,000 a year. Here, it's really expensive. I know you know that, and just
Oh
like it is
yeah.
there. So I
Yeah.
had to take that job for my wife and my daughter, and I got 17 years of running 7 water tunnel shafts. So it all worked out good for me. You remember me when I was I'm still an amateur, but I'm getting better every time, and I'll take my time. I'll be patient, but I know this. I got such great guests on coming on this whole year, but I really wanted to make sure the good people that I know all over. One of them, and George, since the beginning, I remember you supported me since day one, and we
Yeah,
got a
man.
really, yeah, about 2.5 years ago, and you always pushed me and said, "Bobby, keep doing your thing. OG, keep doing your thing." And
Yeah, yeah.
I really appreciated that because that was a tough time for me coming off all those pain meds and all that stuff. And I remember you remember I was just doing it for evaluation and stuff like that. And then I got a passion for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And watching you do it and watching other, Joe Rogan and Hot Boxing's first 2 seasons that I really enjoyed. And because Mike Tyson's one of my favorite, other than
Oh,
Marvin
he's
Hagler
great.
before
He's
him.
great.
And then all the old school people, rest in peace, Marvin Hagler. But Mike Tyson is a savage too. And I followed his career after Hagler. And I followed a lot of boxing careers. And then I got into UFC when it started. But I try to explain to my tech head friends. I go, I was building water tunnels when you guys were learning computers. So I just learned computers in the past, probably a year. I've been taking it a lot seriously. But this new year, I want to like really elevate. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
George,
yeah.
having you on, I really appreciate you coming on and supporting my podcast. And I know you're a busy man tonight. I know that, and I'm glad you could squeak on here for me and the fans because I know fans are going to appreciate this. Um, I'm not even going to check the comments or anything like that. I'm not going to do that today. I want to
Hey,
have you
anything
on
for you,
sometime this year
Bobby.
again.
Anything for you, Bobby. Don't worry
Well,
about it,
anything for
brother.
you
You know
too.
me and
You
you
know
are
I'm
brothers,
loyal, and
man.
I'm gonna. This will be shared across the world. So, George, I'm gonna promote you every time, anyways.
Appreciate it,
I'll
man.
just keep promoting you. So you got a sponsorship on the cut, right on the arm, and it don't cost nothing because that's how much loyalty is royalty. You know that, brother. We're cut
Yeah,
from the
man.
same
Yeah.
cloth, me and you.
For sure. For sure.
George,
For
thank you
sure.
so much for joining me. I know you have a wife and kids, and you have other business obligations, and I just appreciate you coming on, my friend. I'll be in touch weekly with you to see how you're doing, and you have a great night. And I hope everything goes good for you tonight. Everything you got planned, what you're doing tonight. I
Hey,
know.
my pleasure. Just so you know, Bobby.
Yeah,
Can you still hear me? Okay, yeah,
yeah, I'm still,
yeah.
yeah,
So
I'm still
so
on
the
here.
plans for tonight, just so you know and everybody else knows, I'm actually going to
Please tell
All
him,
In
George.
MMA.
Tell him again,
I'm
George. Go
going.
ahead. Say it again.
I'm going to All In MMA is the name
All
of the
in
school.
MMA.
It's in Buena Park, and
Is that in LA?
It's in Buena Park. Yes, in Orange
Los
County. It's
Angeles area,
nearby.
right?
It's nearby. Yeah. And the head coaches there are Matt Johnson, and the other one is Chanarith Pot. Chanarith Pot, a guy who grew up practicing, traditional, Cambodian kickboxing, was the Producer Ray, which a lot of people think predated Muay Thai, and he's like a legend in this area.
I was
And
just
I'm
I was
going
just
there.
registering his name in my head. I know that name. Like I know of him.
And
I
and
love Muay Thai.
I'm headed out there to get some interviews and some content and talk to a couple of guys that are going to be competing out of that camp. And the guys that are going to be competing out of that camp is the big heavyweight Joe Two Guns Hernandez. You see him right here. And the other one is Robert Ortiz, who's undefeated in kickboxing. So these are two guys I'm excited to talk to, and you guys can catch that content on FightersRep.com. And definitely big shout out to Bobby for having me on here and doing this with me.
Integrated 617. But George, tell them your IG and everything, please. Tell the fans, because there are a lot of fans, believe it or not.
For sure. Hey, you can follow us at FightersRep on Instagram. You can follow me personally if you want at FightersRepFez.
Please do.
And definitely subscribe and join the YouTube channel. That's where most of our content goes on YouTube. And, we also have an active Facebook page, but follow us Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It's all Fighters Rep. Follow, join, subscribe, do what all the good people do on social media.
Get one of those Savage shirts too, he has the hoodies too. He's got the merchandise. Those are nice. I love them.
Thank you,
I am
Bobby.
buying one this year. I told you I'm buying one, brother.
Appreciate you, Bobby.
George,
What's up with you before we let you go? What are we doing with you?
I'm just really busy, brother. I just got done from the gym. I told you a little while ago. I took a shower and I was trying to hook everything up. Like I said, I'm a knucklehead. I'm an amateur at this. I don't have no one doing it for me. I know you do it yourself too, but you're a hustling fool. I'm a hustling fool. So I know I just keep going and going and going. Every chance I have, I take it. But the logistics are good right now. So I'm not sweating nothing. There's a lot of business going on with flipping houses this year. And I'm thinking about buying a steam bath place in the old neighborhood. And I might try to buy that from them, and then hook up maybe 3 or 4 more, in the South Shore of the Boston area.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. What's up with the?
Oh, go ahead.
What's up with the podcast? You're gonna be doing this every week, every day. How you doing this?
I'm gonna be doing 3 a week right now, 2 to 3 a week right now, and I'm gonna be doing a MMA, UFC, breaking down the fights, making our fight picks on Thursdays. My other friends at Rush Hour MMA, I watch fights with them, all the UFC fights and all mixed martial arts with them. And so those guys I know will plug you in, you know what I mean? And you'll plug them in. This is all a community of people that are go-getters, you know what I mean? I don't mess with no lazy people. I know you're not lazy, George, and I respect you a lot. And I don't say that to a lot of people. You know that, George. I think you know that
Thank
about
you,
me.
brother. Thank you, brother.
I really care about you. You're a dear friend. I'm proud to call you a dear friend. And I appreciate your support since day one. You really pushed me in the right direction when I was losing my head a little bit. You know what I mean? But I appreciate you, George.
We all lose our heads sometimes, and we all need our homies to tell us what to do sometimes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. George,
but you've been a great friend too, man. I appreciate you, man.
I'll always be a great friend. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? And we're gonna do as much as we can to promote you, George. I'm gonna shout you out every freaking time on my clips on In the Granite 617, on my training clips, on all the podcasts, on all the other networks. I'm gonna shout you guys out on Rush Hour MMA. That's how I am. Fighters Rep, Rush Hour MMA. That subscribe to both of those people. If you guys are real fight fans, these people are real fight fans. George is a promoter. He owns his own promotion, so it doesn't get better than that. He's the Dana White of California right now with kickboxing. Hey, I give Dana White credit. You know what I mean? Like,
I love
the guy. I'm happy for him. Like,
I love the guy.
I'm going to give you a quick, real, true story real quick, and I can say this. I'm not going to mention names because, I don't mention names, but I've done my way back in the days. This is back in the 80s, people, in the late 80s. It was a whole different time. Whitey tried to do the same thing to my mentor, one of my first mentors that taught me how to box to keep me out of trouble from fighting on the streets. And he called my mentor and said, "You're gonna need insurance." He goes, "Click, click. I got all the insurance I need right here." He did the same thing to Dana. Dana went to fucking Vegas, left. Right. My uncle goes, "I got all the insurance I need." AR-15, right? Yeah, he's a Marine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He goes, So he comes knocking on the door a couple hours later, right? And passes me, right? I'm ready. He goes up on the front porch. He goes, "I'm up here." They walk down the stairs and they go, "Oh, we can see you got all." He goes, "This is my insurance." And one of the guys that was with him was a friend of my mentors, and I knew it too. But I wasn't there. I was behind the door with just in case they came through the front door. He went up to. I'll tell you, I'm not really scared of much, except for my wife and God, probably. But I was like 18, 19. I had the 45. I'm like, I got to shoot these pricks if because they're going to kill me if I don't kill them. So I was willing to do that for my mentor at 18, 19 years old. So 17, probably. I think it was 17.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a true story. So Dana White, I used to give him a little hard time, but you know what? He turned Ultimate Fighting Championship. You got a kickboxing thing. I think kickboxing is really important in America. I love kickboxing. What do you think, real quick, before I let you go, about this week's card? And what do you think about Alex Pereira with Izzy? I mean, because he's going to meet him. George, I know you're a fan of these guys, so please give me your breakdown, please. And who you like in the main event Saturday. Qatar, my homeboy from Boston here, versus, I forget the guy's last name, actually.
I don't even know who Cater is fighting, to be honest, for Qatar.
He's fighting a savage. I think he's fighting a guy from Georgia with the flag.
Giga.
With the red and white.
Giga Chikadze. Oh,
that's
man.
See, you're better than me with
that's a tough
Who do you like
fight,
in that fight,
OG.
honestly, George?
That's a tough fight, OG. That's a tough
That's
fight,
a 50-50, right?
Big shout out, obviously to your homies and Boston and everyone else, you're the man for rolling with your boy. But I gotta be honest, man. I think Chikadze is just too much. I think he's too good. I
agree to disagree. Yeah, I agree. I love that. I love that you have your opinion. You stand by it.
And I love Cater. Yeah, and I love Cater.
He's got the head kick. The guy, he's got that head kick, and he's always trying to set it up. And Cater comes straight in, but I think Cater's smart now since he fought Holloway. I mean, he never gave up. He wasn't like
no. Let me tell you something.
He shows Boston hard.
He's one of the toughest dudes I've ever seen.
He's a savage.
And he can go in there. What it's going to be, OG, is going to be Cater's boxing versus Chikadze's kickboxing.
Head kicks, yeah.
That's what it's going to be. If Cater goes in there, he can knock his ass out. But Chikadze has a few more tools, so that's why I would lean a little bit toward him. He might just kick his legs.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, he might just kick his legs out. I don't know, but obviously, anything could happen. I believe Cater can knock anyone out. We'll see. We'll see.
We will see. That is a tough fight. You're right. That's
as far as Pereira, OG, I got his. He was the last guy Israel Adesanya fought in kickboxing, I believe, and he knocked Izzy out. But
that's not easy to do either. I know they were both young too.
Right. And it was a good fight up until then. I just think right now, today, Izzy's further along in his MMA development.
I like Izzy a lot.
Yeah. So we're gonna need to give Pereira time to catch up because I don't think he's there yet.
I agree. Give him a couple more, 2-3 more fights. I agree with that. But don't you think they'll push it once he does one more? Because everything he touches, he turns them stiff. He reminds me of me as a middleweight. I swear to God, I love Izzy though.
Pereira's a monster. They are going to push it because he was the guy that beat Izzy. But I think we lost some of that luster and aura of invincibility when Blachowicz beat Izzy at 205. Now Izzy's going to go back down.
Izzy had the balls to go fight a heavyweight. Right. That takes balls. That was a ballsy move. Right. No other fucking guys are doing that.
It's true. But it's, it was still a loss. It was that light heavyweight, still a loss. So I think like the invincibility, the aura of invincibility took a little bit of a hit by
And
Izzy,
you
but
see,
he's still.
Jan was a little timid though. He knew if he got clipped by Izzy, he was
Oh
going to
yeah, oh
go
yeah,
to sleep. So he beat him with the wrestling. That's the only way he could beat him because he
yeah,
could have
yeah.
beat him. I mean, if Jan connected, he would have been out cold, Izzy. But Izzy is so
Right,
crafty in
right.
there. Anytime he feints, you don't know what he's going to do. He reminds
He's
me of a
amazing.
middleweight John Jones. That's what he reminds me
No,
of.
he's amazing. And you know what?
I
He's a
love him.
lot
I
more
love Izzy.
he's a lot more dynamic than John Jones. He's got a lot more tools as far as striking goes. But
Yeah. I love John Jones. See, me and you.
John has the
I
wrestling though.
disagree with
OG John
everybody
has
about
the
John Jones. I think
John,
he's going to go into the heavyweight, and he's a natural heavyweight. I think
yeah,
he's going
yeah,
to go champ. I think he's going to hurt every single. I think he's going to hurt whoever wins this next fight between Francis and Gon. And I think he'll take on Stipe too,
yeah.
just for his legacy. I think John Jones' mentality and his mental, and they will fight. A lot of these fighters will fight a diluted version. Now he's sober. If he goes in there sober, I don't know. He's had a year and a half to mess with this weight and use his hands and his legs. So he's
Yeah,
getting used
yeah,
to his weight. He didn't rush right in. So I think that if Izzy did that for a year, he'd be just as
yeah.
dangerous at light
I
heavyweight.
wouldn't be surprised at all if John Jones goes to heavyweight and beats everybody.
Look
But
at Look at his brothers. They're both NFL, and one of them
yeah,
played for
yeah,
us. Won two Super Bowls with us.
right.
Chandler Jones. So he
But
comes from some
But I
really
just
good
think,
genetics.
yeah. But I just think he's different from Izzy, right? Izzy is a pure striker who's like
Yeah,
learning jujitsu now, whereas John, he's a good striker, but he's
yeah.
a better wrestler than Izzy will ever be. He's a better wrestler than Izzy will ever be.
Yeah, if you got a hold of Izzy, you would be in trouble. But I agree with you on that. Izzy's been striking his whole life, and to see John Jones not even grow up with a striking background and just come in there and elevate every
Right,
time
right.
till and fame and fortune is a powerful drug. And I don't want no fame. I want the money and the green. That's it. And my wife and my kids and my good community of friends and
You want the green and the green. You want the
yeah, the
green
green and the
and the
green,
green.
exactly. I'm not gonna. You got a reputation, so I'm not saying nothing. But it's all legal anyway, so I don't care anyways. Where I am,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean. But I care about you, so I respect you enough not to bring that up. But anyways, I'm sorry I did, but that's just the truth.
Appreciate you, OG.
I can't fake it. I'm sorry, but John Jones,
No,
I really believe he beat so many legends in there, and he toyed with them. He was he
yeah,
made them look like little boys when I don't know.
yeah,
That's
he
just
did.
my impression, but I believe you're right about his skills.
Yeah.
Striking, absolutely. You're 120% correct.
I'll say this. I think John is probably the best or one of the best to ever do it. I mean,
He has
that's
to
what
be
I.
in that category.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
If people want to be real about it, I know they don't like. Listen, I don't like anybody. I don't hit my wife. I've never hit my wife. I've never hit women. I've never hit my kids. I gave my kids time out. I got hit when I was a kid. I used to tell my mother,
Yeah.
"You're hurting yourself." After like the second, third beat, I'm like, "They don't hurt no more. You're hurting yourself, ma. You keep breaking spoons or wooden spoons on my head. You're losing spoons." We were on
Yeah,
welfare.
yeah.
So she had food stamps. I'm like, you can't keep affording to go buy. I was a wise
Oh
ass,
my god. Yeah, yeah.
That was just young kid shit, you know what I mean? But George, I know you got shit to do. George, thank you so much for coming on, brother. We'll have you on during whenever you want to come on for your next promotion, and we'll just keep promoting the shit out of you over there with kickboxing. We need kickboxing in America, and I can't see any better guy, a more honest guy, and more hardworking guy than you with kickboxing.
Thank you, man.
Because
I
you
needed to
really
hear
push it.
that today, man. I appreciate it,
No,
man.
you need to hear that every day, George, from your friends,
Thanks,
because
bro.
you are
Thank
the
you.
man, in my opinion. And I don't say that often. I really mean it. George, if there's anything I could ever do, if you got my number, you call me anytime. You know that. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
know, man. I
I'm just
know.
a phone
I
call
know.
away. You need someone to listen. I'm here for you, brother.
I appreciate you, man.
I
Same.
appreciate you,
Likewise.
my friend.
Likewise.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us, George. I really appreciate it. I
My
really do.
pleasure. Shout out to everyone that's watching In the Granite 617. I love that name, by the way, OG. I love it,
It's
bro.
original, bro. Just like me, bro, and just like you, bro. You're original too, and that's why you're on my
Appreciate you,
freaking
man.
show in the first place. I love you, George. I appreciate you so much, brother. I'm proud to call you a friend, and I'm sorry for I had FightersRep Prez. I was Russian president, and it didn't come out. I
No,
got
you did it
comments on
right.
there,
You did it
George.
good. You did it good.
Well, I want to keep it that way. So the next time it'll be elevated a little bit, and I'll have some more people to ask you more questions too. So
For
next
sure.
time we're
For
going to be
sure.
able to do it good. I know you got things to do, and I know you told me before we did this, so I don't want to hold you up. Last thing I want to do is stop you from your business and your promotion, and
Appreciate you, big
and
guy.
interview fighters. I'll be watching them tonight or tomorrow whenever you download them.
Yeah, let's run it back soon, brother. I
We will
appreciate
run
you,
it
man.
back really soon, brother. Really soon. Give me a call, George, in a little while, so I can put you back on my feet as
For
usual.
sure. For
All
sure.
right,
For
brother.
sure.
Thank you so
Have a
much,
good one,
George.
man.
Have a
Thank
safe